ending and death, in contrast with the beginning of life. How do both stories work, like in the universe of Patria del Viento?
Okay, as writers, we use in all in the books or in the fictions or wherever we want to write, mostly fictional piece. We try to use our experimental egos, and somehow each one of our characters, it's a tiny little part of us, of a part of our voice, of something that we want to say. We might not agree with the character, and the character might be a little bit immoral or violent or I don't know, or something that is not politically correct. But these two stories are connected somehow because the first one happens to a teenager in the early, like 12 or 13 years old, when you are just waking up, to life, and you're discovering, sexuality, which is such an important matter, in life. Also, I read that the bestsellers have a lot of sex, so I decided, to talk about it, so I can sell a little bit of books, Anyway, so basically, this story depicts a guy, a 13-year-old guy, who goes and he loses his virginity, and there's a love story going. This was pretty difficult in the Anfunes, my hometown, when we presented the book, because my mother was in there, with all her friends, you know what I mean, and all of a sudden I just blushed, I started sweating, I almost, got mute, and I was very shy, but here, as you can see, I'm very confident. That story, which is it doesn't have a happy ending, like like the story suggests, is connected with another one that it talks about somebody that decides to to make a very difficult choice in order to save himself and the future. It's a little bit fantastic. It's a fantastic story, but also it talks about the end of the cycle of life, and how it could happen, regardless the age, regardless your biological cycle. You could really decide when to end your life, and I thought it would be good, Eduardo helped me, putting all the pieces together, and he suggested that it should be like the last story, just to close and to give a sense of closure to the whole piece. So, and I also talk about what happened when people just lose, it loses the desire of fighting for others. Which is such an easy phrase, to say. But and in a way, what we're doing, we have the same name, same last name, and we decided to join forces. Basically, we're fighting for others. I'm fighting for him. He's fighting for me, and we are trying to fight for all the people that we're addressing to. Because basically all these subjects, identity, suffering, love, desire, failure, oblivion, is something that at one point of our lives is going to affect each one of us. So in that last story, Eduardo, just to finish with the book, it was a good moment to just to closure, as you said. So to give some sense of closure to the book. So basically that's my book, and I am very grateful for Eduardo for bringing me here. This is a very special city for him. We've been together in town. He was showing me the streets. They're very meaningful to them because Philadelphia is a great teacher as a city, as an institution, as an entity, and somehow now I understand why, you know, looking at your faces, I understand why it's so important for him. So thank you.